Welcome to the MTD Podcast. I'm Giovanni Albanese, hosting today's show, a passionate engineer and a proud member of the MTD team. Today, we're conducting the podcast at the home of SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook. In fact, we're actually in their manufacturing facility and conducting the podcast off their latest innovation, a new setting table. I'm joined by three special guests. Mark, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, Mark?
I have worked for SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook for about 16 years now, and I am actually the on-site fitter. So I drive around the country fitting all the products that we make.
Brilliant. Mark Goodman there, and we're also joined by Tom Davies. Welcome.
Hi, Joe, you all right?
Yeah, not too bad, Tom. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please, Tom, and what you do for SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook.
So what I do is I work in the technical sales department. So if you have an inquiry, it will get sent to myself or one of our team. As well as that, I set up things like this, such as like the marketing and exhibitions and anything along those lines that is required by us. And that's generally my role in a nutshell for you.
Cheers, Tom. And finally, but not least, Martin.
Hi, Gio, you all right? I've been here about 20 years now. I'm the production manager at our Hinckley factory. I've come all the way up through the ranks on the shop floor, foreman, and I'm a production manager.
Brilliant. Thanks, Martin. Now, today we're doing this podcast predominantly around UK manufactured innovation and technology. The first topic is the new setting tables that we've been looking at today and that have been officially launched for sale all around the world and for promotion and exposure all around the world. Now, Tom, I'm going to start with you, really. Can you tell us a little bit about this latest innovation from yourselves? And we'll touch upon the UK manufactured perspective as well later in the podcast.
Yeah, well, it's a new product range that we've got to push. Like I say, it's something that we need to get out there to the audience because they've been in production now for a while. We've sold quite a few of them already, but certainly from a marketing perspective, it's something we've never really had a huge push on. So we need to get that information out there and let the customers, the worldwide or the UK, know that it's a product that we can offer them.
And how important is it that it's been made in the UK, Tom? You know, especially in the funny times that we're in at the minute.
I think in the current climate, it's a key factor that it's made in the UK because it's. You don't have to wait for any lead times or anything. You don't have to wait for third parties to send you any components or anything. Everything's made in-house at Nottingham or Hinckley, and just generally, everything's kept here. So it helps speed up the process with production time, really. And
I just want to say, these setting tables are sold all around the world, and probably export is probably a bigger seller for you than into the UK.
So far with the setting tables, export is where it's at for the set tables at the minute. But obviously, we have no restrictions on where we can sell or where we will ship to. We're a worldwide supplier.
Brilliant. Now, Martin, you're quite technically adept with these setting tables. Can you tell us a little bit about them and what they actually do?
Well, we've been manufacturing fixtures for over 30 years, bespoke fixtures. Most of them are rotary fixtures. And these will accompany any existing fixtures or new fixtures that any of our customers or new customers require. It eliminates all the setting time away from the machine, allowing the machine time to be purely production.
So, I mean, obviously for the listeners, you can't actually see what we're conducting the podcast off at the minute, but please visit the SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook website, or you'll be able to see the videos on these setting stations on MTDCNC platform very soon. Now, you mentioned eliminating setup times completely. Now, this is key, isn't it?
This is key. This is one of the main selling factors of these setting tables, the fact that you can eliminate the setting time altogether, because that in most cases is an unknown amount of time depending on how complex the component on the fixture is.
So effectively what these setting tables do, it allows you to do all the setting off the machine and keep the machine tool running. What kind of, give us an example of the kind of parts that you would look to set on this setting table, and give us an indication of how the setting table also works with the rotary table and 0 point aspect and setting arms, Martin.
Yeah, well, at the moment we're making them for the aerospace industry, and one of the parts that does go on there is engine rings. They will have multiple ops on them, so you can set them for outside diameters and turn them and then take them off, even check what you've machined, and then reset them again to machine internal diameters. It's got a quick release system on it in the fact that they've got the speedy pots on there, speedy modules. They've got a quick release clocking DTI arm on there as well. There's a jog function, a hand wheel function. You can clock up faces and any diameters that you need to.
So predominantly for aerospace, but lend themselves to any industry?
They do, yeah. Anything that has got a rotary table on, then yeah, these are the pieces of kit that's needed.
I mean, it's hard to visualise this particular product, but it's a huge product. I can certainly see the benefits. I've never seen one personally myself before. It's the first time that I've seen one, but I can definitely see the benefits. So you've got the rotary table where the fixtures fit onto. You've got setting arms where you can actually clock the parallelism, but also the diameters as well. So you've got two setting arms that work simultaneously together.
Yes, you have, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we at the moment we've just manufactured two different sizes, one to accommodate a 1200mm table and a smaller version with an 800mm table on.
Now, setting tables are not the only thing that are manufactured from yourselves in the UK. You're also manufacturing steady rests, Mark. Now, tell us a little bit about this different product line.
Well, in the past, when we've been making the manual steady rests, they would all be fabricated together. But we've just come up with an idea that if we bolt these together, we can use standard parts as a modular system if they need to go on different machines.
So you've been manufacturing steady rests for many years as well.
Yes.
You're very well renowned as market leaders, I
Yep.
would say, for steady rests, hydraulic and manual.
Yep.
Now, are you referring to a manual steady rest or hydraulic one in regards to the modular aspect?
This is for the manual steady rest, yes.
Right. So what do you mean by this then? So you're making them out of several parts instead of fabricating them in the past?
Well, yes. The base would fit the upright through means of dowels and screws. The webs again would be the same system, whereby in the past it's all been welded together. Welding itself, as people probably know, brings its own problems with distortion and that sort of thing, and that eliminates that.
So effectively then you're making it modular, and I think that everyone wants that modular aspect every day because they don't really know what's coming through the door from one day to the next.
Absolutely, and you can have stock on the shelf if a certain size is wanted. All we have to do then is establish which machine it's going into, and then design a base, or we may already have a base which should be used, and then they're bolted together and sent out to the customer.
Now, we did take a look at the manual steady rests earlier, Mark. Can you just tell us a little bit about the USPs of them and why you would choose a manual over an hydraulic?
Well, the range that SMW-AUTOBLOK do in hydraulic steadies is vast, but they always find areas where there's a size missed or a diameter missed. So it just covers all the areas really that the hydraulic steadies won't get to.
And what are the strokes like?
They can be quite big. We can make them obviously bespoke to different machines and different applications. But generally, the range is actually quite a lot larger than the similar sized hydraulic steadies would be. So for instance, a large steady to go in a large machine can probably hold up to 1 metre and come down to 300 millimetres. So the range there is huge.
So manual steadies are not necessarily just for manual machines?
Not at all, no. They're for CNC machines, for production work or one-offs.
And what obstacles do you need to overcome in regards to different machine tool types and the different configurations of bracketry, for example?
Bracketry is very, very similar. So normally machines would be completely different parameters inside. So the bed distances would be different, the centre to door would be different. So we can actually manufacture specifically for your machine, whether it's an end user machine or for the machine tool companies. So we could cover almost every eventuality.
We've established that everything's manufactured in the UK, which is fantastic, and you're supplying the whole world with your products. There's not many people that can actually manufacture and specialise in what you do.
No, well, it is a funny market. It's not something that everybody has the information for. So, because we've been doing it for such a long time and done it for so many different companies and different machines, we have the expertise to design, manufacture, and fit to all manner of machines.
And how important is it to have full control?
Oh, completely important. You've got to have trust in things you use.
Now, Tom, coming back to you again from a marketing perspective, how important, what importance do you put upon, the fact that, everything's manufactured in the UK from a selling perspective, Tom, and what kind of perception does that give you?
I think, generally speaking, the fact it's manufactured in the UK, if you're selling to UK customers, then they've got that full confidence that everything is in-house, everything's done specifically by us. So, the fact that we can see a job through from start to finish is what most customers tend to really like about it. And if they've got any issues, they can contact us at any point. And everything's gone through every department and just like that, really.
So you're actually supporting the products as well, so they get full support from you guys?
They get full support, whether that be with the initial design or as it's going through production, and even after sales. If there's any issues after, our service and installation team are available on the phone. You can send any inquiries to the sales team and we can get you spare parts and even modifications or, anything like that.
We also offer repair and servicing facility as well. So if your equipment needs repairing or servicing, then we're on hand to do that.
And Mark, you actually go out and install them as well?
Indeed, that's right. Yes, I do an install as well. So I'll do all a lot of the new installs, specifically a lot of the CNC machines and the CNC machine tool companies. I will go onto their site or to the end user and fit our equipment onto their machines for them. Now,
for people that may not be aware of your company, probably if you're in the engineering industry, it'd be very unlikely that you wouldn't be. But the products that we discussed today are just the tip of the iceberg. You supply a lot of work holding solutions, whether that be standard products or bespoke products. Martin, can you just give us an overview of the kind of product portfolio that you offer as a group?
Yeah, well, being part of a large global group has a lot of advantages. We manufacture chucks in Italy and Germany, hydraulic steadies in Europe as well. We can manufacture bespoke chuck jaws, vice jaws, bespoke fixtures, everything really.
And really, your products really lend themselves to any milling or turning machines. Is that
Definitely,
correct?
Yeah.
Any, any work holding solutions, whether it be standard or bespoke, I'm pretty sure you've got a solution.
Our design department would have a solution, certainly, yes. So if you have any ideas or anything you want to go and try and manufacture that you're not too sure of what needs to be done, then if you get in touch with our departments, they will try to help you.
And Tom, how important is work holding in the complete process?
Well, I think it's massively important, because if you get your work holding correct, you're gonna have the best job on your machine, and it's going to run the way you want it to. If you don't keep it serviced or anything like that, then you're going to see that it might not grip as much. You might lose concentricity, and it's very important that you choose the correct work holding, and that also once you've chosen it, that you then look after it and keep it serviced. And that is where we come in, because we've got that full package that we could offer customers, where you buy the package off us. In a year's time, maybe we'll come back in, give you a service, show you what it's operating before, show you what it's operating after, and the information's there for itself. It tells a story for you, really.
Yeah. Now, that's a good point. Now, Martin, you're production manager for one of the two very large manufacturing facilities that you've got in the UK. Do you practice what you preach in regards to work holding methods and processes?
Yeah. Quite often when we have to manufacture, especially medium-sized batch work for the fixtures that we make our own fixtures as well. We might have to buy a set of chuck jaws and mill them and machine them to hold the component, so we can offer the customer the best component fixture that they need.
And what kind of evolution have you seen over the years in regards to work holding and machine tools? And has the work holding products that you offer have had to evolve because of the machine tool?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I mean, they've become more accurate, haven't they? And more the repeatabilities. The repeatability is very good on the products. So if you've got lots of batch work, you can guarantee that the first one is going to be the same as the last one, holding wise.
Right, and we've all kind of been we mentioned a funny time. It's been a testing time, challenging time recently. It looks like we're coming to the end of it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. How's business been for you guys over the last few months?
It has slowed down, there's no denying it. Obviously, aeroplanes aren't flying, so aerospace isn't spending money. But we've tried to diversify now, to try and lend our workshops to do different things. We've manufactured for the automotive industry and also for the medical industry as well. So I think you've got to diversify, that's the thing. I mean, we can lend our machine shops to most things. So I think, we need to go somewhere different.
Yeah, I mean, with the capabilities that you've got, there's not much you can't really do.
Absolutely.
I mean, Tom, what's your spin on this?
I think generally, we've always worked in different areas, not just the aerospace. So, automotive, oil and gas, medical. So the fact that we are so flexible and we can adapt to any sort of environment, that really works in our favour, because there really is no job that we can't find you a solution for, really.
Yeah, and Martin, from a production perspective, have you still been busy?
Yeah, it's got gradually busy over the last 2 or 3 months. We are getting busier. We're seeing orders start to flow more into the sales department and design department, and then that carries on into the production. And
have you kind of noticed, that British engineers really need to kind of start becoming patriotic, and they need to be investing in the latest technology and innovations to stay competitive, whether that be the machine tools, the work holding. Do you feel now that UK engineers are looking at things differently now?
I definitely think that we're all getting better with what we produce. We're getting more accurate. We're coming up with different ideas for different work holding solutions. We're basically learning as everybody's learning every day. So that's the way we're going forward.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. It's been an absolute pleasure being at your facility today, guys. It's been an education as always. It's been great to look at some of the latest products that you're offering to the market. Any last thoughts, Mark?
Keep on engineering. I think that's the way we've all got to go.
Yeah. Tom?
No, I just think generally at the moment, obviously with the world we're living in and the post-COVID situation, I think people might not be spending as much at the minute as they normally would. But if you don't want to buy a new machine, you can invest in new work holding, which will give you better performance of your machine anyway. So maybe work holding at the minute is where you should be looking to improve your shop floor.
I think that's a fantastic point, really. You utilise your assets and kind of get the most out of what you've got, really.
Definitely get the most out of what you've already got, and that will probably save the customer a lot of money spending on new machines, but also obviously improve their turnover and their production with the best work holding solutions out there.
I think you've touched on something there, really, Tom, because I think that does open up, you can present more components to the spindle, you can reduce cycle times by work holding, you can produce more accurate parts, you've got your 0 point fixtures now, so you're kind of reducing setup times as well, or even eliminating setup times with new setting tables. So yeah, listen to what the guys say. I mean, the gains you can get from a relatively small investment, you get a fantastic return of investment with some of the latest work holding solutions that are now available. So if you've enjoyed this podcast, let us know what you think. Please visit the SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook website to look at some of the products, and you can also find some of the latest videos on the MTDCNC platform Guys, thank you very much. Martin, sorry,
No, that's
any
fine.
last words?
I mean, as well as new fixtures, we also offer modifications to fixtures that have been manufactured by us or anybody else. We service a lot of engineering work holding solutions. So
It's the full
very
package
good.
you get
Yeah.
out of us, really, from
Yeah.
start to
Give it the
finish.
full package.
Yep.
So there you have it, the complete solution from SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook. And the motto of today, I think, is that setting time is downtime, so stop wasting time and get in touch with SMW-AUTOBLOK Telbrook. I hope you've enjoyed this week's podcast.
Thanks for listening to the MTD Podcast. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and leave a rating and review. Find more episodes on MTDCNC.com.